The character I would like to talk about today is known as Darth Diaboli. Now, Darth Diaboli was once known as Thanopraxis. Born on a secluded world, Thano grew up in a small clan that was filled with numerous Force sensitives, and it was kind of expected for Thano to, in turn himself, be Force sensitive, because for 5 generations prior to him, everyone in his family had been Force sensitive. Now, because of this, Thano is incredibly powerful in the Force. But when Thano was a young man, his clan was discovered by a Sith Lord named Darth Canis. Now, Darth Canis, who was a very powerful and influential Sith, decided that Thanos' clan was a threat because of just how many of them were just powerful in the Force. So, Darth Canis did what any smart Sith would do, well, if you could call it smart, and he basically just went and slaughtered all of Thanos' clan. Except he failed, because he left Thano alive. In the wake of this genocide, Thano was just grief-stricken because he had lost everything he ever knew and loved. So he did what you'd expect a normal Force sensitive to do, and he vowed to hunt down the killer of his clan, and tracked him for months throughout the galaxy. And this hunt for Darth Canis led Thano to a smuggler named Kale Beto. Kale claimed that he knew where Darth Canis was planning to attack next, which was this Jedi temple. So Thano hired Kale to take him to this planet to finally confront this Sith Lord who had caused him so much grief. But when they arrived on the planet, they discovered there was a full-on conflict between Jedi and Sith forces, with the Sith forces being led by none other than Darth Canis and his master. Upon seeing Darth Canis, Thano went a little crazy and charged at him. While he was running towards Darth Canis, he picked up a green lightsaber from a fallen Jedi. But before Thano was able to reach Canis, he was cut off by Canis' master, a very powerful Sith Lord who, during the fight, was easily able to overpower Thano in every way, shape, and form. But as the fight went on, Thano fell closer and closer to the dark side, using his rage to fuel his attacks even more and more as he began becoming even more frustrated with how much stronger his opponent was. But the more Thano fell to the dark side, the more powerful he became. And it got to the point where Thano was so powerful that he actually was able to best the Sith Lord and was about to kill him before a Jedi Master named Suko stopped him. This whole conflict ended when the Sith fled the planet, and Suko took in Thano and started training him in the ways of the Jedi. After a fair bit of training, Thano proved himself to be excellent at fighting against other lightsaber wielders or just Force sensitives in general, and so he was put on a Jedi strike team led by Jedi Master Silo. That's goal was to basically track down the leading Sith and eliminate them. During his time with the Jedi, Thano forged a strong friendship with his master Suko, and really got along well with another one of the members of the Jedi Strike Team named Ren Korn. But the Jedi Strike Team faced very limited success, and often felt discouraged after just several failed missions. Many times the failed mission simply was just because they followed a false lead that just wasted a bunch of time. But after one particular mission that Thano was on along with Ren Korn and another Jedi, they were on their way back to the Jedi Temple, were feeling very discouraged, and just were genuinely concerned if their strike team was doing anything useful. And Thano sensed a strange disturbance in the Force. And when they investigated his disturbance, they discovered on a nearby planet an ancient Sith temple. Ren Korn stayed behind on their ship to kind of keep an eye out and just be ready to leave, while Thano and the other Jedi went to explore the temple. Although, when they were there, Thano experienced strange visions, particularly involving Darth Canis. And at one point, Thano actually believed he had discovered Darth Canis and fought him. Only this fight, although Thano did eventually win this fight, he discovered that he was just hallucinating and killed the other Jedi. After this moment, he decides he can't return to the Jedi because out of fear of what they would think. But Thano, even though he decided he was never going to return to the Jedi, wished to finish the mission and investigate the temple, which, as he explored more and more, he discovered some very powerful dark side presence in this temple, and after quite some time, he realized that this dark side presence was coming from the Sith Council themselves. So he eventually discovered them, except it wasn't quite what he was expecting. See, the Sith Council had basically captured Darth Canis and put him in chains, and were offering him to Thano, and offered to let Thano kill him and have Thano join them as Sith on the Sith Council. Although reluctant at first, Thano eventually agreed to this deal, but under one condition, that Canis was given a lightsaber so that the two could have a full-on fight, which the leading Sith agreed. So they unshackled Canis, and Canis and Thano fought, except it was a very one-sided fight that ended very quickly, with Thano sending a giant bolt of Force lightning straight through Canis, and even went completely through him, and even destroyed a wall in the Sith Temple. Very impressed with Thanos' incredible strength with Force lightning, a mysterious Sith Lord then took in Thano to train him and groom him to be essentially his perfect apprentice. And Thano was later given the title of Darth Diaboli and was assigned on the Sith Council. Over time, the new Sith Lord Darth Diaboli discovered that the real reason why his master and the Sith Council wished to recruit him in the first place was because his master had a personal project of restoring an ancient Sith Lord back to life, a Sith Lord known as Darth Tozai.